Hello everyone, welcome back to BrokeNbricks. My name is Owen and I'm finally back with building Moria in LEGO episode 7. So first things first, sorry it's taken this long for me to get back to this. It has mostly been because of financial reasons. Buying pieces is expensive. And also I've just kind of had a lot going on in the last 3 months, but I finally made time, I finally ordered some pieces, so we're ready to continue with the MOC series. And I'm very excited about this one because I'm finally going to be building the Doors of Durin along with the entrance hall. Just a couple of things before we get started. Number one is that the rest of the MOC has not changed much, apart from I did a live stream about a month ago to build up the right hand side wall of Balin's tomb. So I made a decent amount of progress with that, and that room is looking a lot more complete. I just kind of had to stop because I was running out of pieces as I was getting nearer to the top. And the other thing is that I think I'm going to scrap my plan to include the Balrog Booknook set. I will be building something very similar, but having the actual set itself integrated into the build is not really practical. Especially when it comes to the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, I definitely need something that is a bit stronger and isn't going to break as easily. So if you are new to this series and you are planning on watching back the rest of it, you can watch episodes 1 to 5, but definitely skip episode 6. That episode is basically pointless now. Anyway, I've ordered a bunch of pieces to get started on the doors and the entrance hall, so this episode is going to be starting that, and then hopefully episode 8 will be finishing it. I've made a rough plan in Bricklink Studio, which is how I knew what pieces to order. But that is not concrete, so I might be making some changes to that as we go along. And that is about everything that I have to say, so I'm going to go ahead and start opening all of these Bricklink orders. Okay, so that is all of the pieces that have arrived. I was hoping to get another couple of orders here before I made this video, but they're taking a while, so I will just leave them until the next episode. So I'm going to jump ahead to when I have completed the foundation of the entrance hall. Okay, so here is the base for this section, and it is quite long. It's about 10 studs longer than Balin's tomb, so yeah, that kind of gives you an idea that this is going to be a very long MOC going from left to right. So this dark tan section is going to be outside the doors, and then the wall with the doors will be somewhere along here. And what I'm going to do next is start building up the back wall. And also you can see we have this rocky border that's going to go along the base of the model. And then I did make sure to include the section of the border that goes on this 45-degree angle. So what's going on here is that I'm going to just build the back wall and not the one on this side. But I wanted the doors to be in the center on this side, otherwise it would look a bit weird if this section just cut off here. You'll see what I mean when I've got the doors built. So what I'm going to do now is start building the back wall. Alright guys, this is the progress on the wall, so I'm not finished it, obviously. This is just to sort of give an idea of what the final thing will look like. So when I was designing this digitally, I was keeping up with the scene from the movie to try and make it as accurate as possible. So we're going to have 4 pillars going along here, and between them we have 3 dwarf statues, which I did decide to go with brick built ones instead of trying to find some grey minifigure parts. So this is what I came up with. We have a grill piece for the beard. This clip piece is going to be to hold an axe, and then I use this tooth plate for the back of the helmet, and that exposed stud plugs into this Technic brick here. I will also have a dish piece on the top for the top of the helmet, but for now I would just be using a round tile. So I'm not sure about this. I feel like there is room for improvement, but I'm happy with it for now. So we are going to have 3 of them, one on each of these platforms. And to get these slope pieces here in the correct position, I've had to do some upside down building. So that is a little bit challenging, but I think I'm managing with it fine. And then I'm matching these wedge plates up to the slopes. So the parts with these slopes are kind of like where the dwarves have carved the rock, And then when the plates are built on the side, that's more of like the natural cave. So I'm really excited to start working on the doors. This is the prototype that I started working on previously. And then this is sort of practicing the mechanism for opening it. It is sort of using the same system as BrokeNbricks. So like I said, I'm not going to be able to finish this module in this video, but I definitely want to at least have the doors with the opening and closing function by the end of it. Alright, so I've pretty much got the right door sorted, so this is what it looks like opening. So yeah, it took quite a bit of messing around with to get it to work, but it does now actually work, and I'm really happy about that. So what I'm going to do now is to try and get the left door put into place. But before I do that, I will just show you the mechanism. So going over the entranceway, we have this cross beam, and that is where the mechanism is mounted. So we have this Technic axle here, which turns these gears, and then that pushes this gear rack forward, and that is attached to the back of the door. So as you push it forward, it makes the door open, and then the same for closing it up again. So yeah, it is quite simple. I basically just copied the mechanism from the BrokeNbricks set. And then I'm going to be using these panel pieces to hide the Technic axle, and I'm not too sure about hiding the gear rack. I have kind of tried by adding these grey pieces underneath, so I will try and hide it as much as possible, but I'm not too bothered if any of it's showing. At the end of the day, I'm more bothered about the functionality with this part over how it looks. So yeah, and as long as it looks like it kind of blends in, then I'm sure it'll be fine. So now I'm going to try and get the door on the other side put into place, and then we will have the mechanism working with both doors. And here we finally have the doors in place, so turning this round brick turns the gears and opens the doors. And then we can close the doors, and it does fit quite snugly into the frame. I used some more upside down slopes here just to match the angle of the edges of the doors. There has been some problems with the doors shifting down a bit, like sometimes when I'm closing them it will get stuck on this tile here, but for the most part it's been working absolutely fine and is very satisfying to open and see. There we go, right there. It's getting stuck on the tile down there, so when that happens I do just have to shift the door up a tiny bit. So I will need to find a solution for that, but for now I'm very happy with this. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. And what I think I'll be doing in part 8 is finishing the floor of the entrance hall and finishing the walls as well. And then maybe in part 8, but probably in part 9, I will start working on the trees outside of the doors. But I don't have to figure that out just yet, so yeah, for now the plan is for the next video is to just get most of this finished. So that is going to be it for part 7, hopefully you enjoyed this return to Moria, and if you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I'm very glad to be back building this, and hopefully everyone will continue to stick around for the series, because people do seem to really like it, and this is kind of like my ultimate LEGO project. Thank you everyone for watching, thank you for your time, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.
Good, Anakin, good. Subscribe. Subscribe now.
It should.
Do it.